Sports take, break, fake, hate, love, give, bust.
Hi, I'm an artist called tRaNgE, master of the mystic fArtz. Today I'll be answering a crucially important question that I've had for over 25 years. With so many options available, what skills do I really need to learn in order to be the best producer in history? And in what order do I need to learn these skills? So I've compiled a list of the first 11 things that came to me.
If I had known these earlier, I may have had a shot at producing for Wu-Tang and MF Doom while I was still a spring chicken instead of near the end of our lives when we're all old and gray and or dead.
I sincerely hope that this tutorial will guide you in the right direction and also clear the clutter out of your path so you know exactly what skills you need to focus on and other boring crap like that. I'll do my best to make this as not boring as possible along the way as well. Please donate your dad jokes below in the likes and comments. Now let's open the portal into this.
The order of things.
First, you must choose your weapon, meaning what computer, what D.A.W, which MIDI controller. I suggest Mac with Logic and an MPD. Another great option is Ableton on a PC with a Push 3. And if you really want to waste some money, build a monster PC and run Bitwig with a keyboard by Arturia or Native Instruments Complete Control. Machine is also really nice. Some say better than Akai's MPC MPDs. I have my own reasons for staying with Akai.
I'm nostalgic.
Moving on to number 2, you must learn your D.A.W. Not start collecting plugins, just learn your fucking D.A.W.
That means A, mastering all the key commands, not just learning, but ingraining them, making custom presets, and what every single knob, fader, list does, you gotta know that. You gotta know what the drop-down menu does. This includes learning all the preferences and settings for every stock plugin that you use.
Get flashcards, study with a friend, subscribe to tutorial services to learn all this.
You must learn the basics of rhythm, melody, and the standard arrangements of your favorite genres. There's no way around this that ends in you making better beats and film scores than me, so just do it.
You must commit to certain instruments, high-powered instruments, and learn them forwards and backwards, so using them is effortless. For me, it's Contact and Phase Plant, which for you might be Falcon or Serum. I like those too, but you can also get away with using Vital, which is free, or your stock sampler. Especially in Logic, the new sampler and Q sampler integrate very elegantly into the live loops and piano roll section, making it just like Ableton.
In order to establish a sound, find the instruments you love early on, and move past the time pit, which is the hunt for the perfect sound.
Dig into all the extra nerdy, unadorned settings that go on under the hood, like list editors, region inspectors, etc. It may not be as pretty as your brand new fancy plugin that you just bought, but there is zero latency when you work with native plugins and the settings they are formed from. Try using only the settings. Exclude the GUI completely, which is easy in Logic. Then you will know for sure if you really love what that plugin effect or instrument does. Also exclude visual readouts in general. Try using the console EQs and mix with only your ears. It kicks ass.
Number 4. Become a beast at editing and automating.
Cable Guy's Shaperbox has really helped me out to exclude the use of Logic's automation, which I feel has gotten a lot better, but is still way too small and feels sticky compared to Shaperbox, Infiltrator, and or Ableton. Same with Logic's piano roll. That's why I'm so happy about the Sequencer Live Loops edition. Anyway, learn all the ways that your D.A.W can transform MIDI in terms of pitch, sustain, velocity, timing, basic feeling, etc. I know this sounds ultra boring, but it's worth it, and you won't be sorry. Number 5.
A mistake I used to always make.
Adding plugins before doing a basic volume mix. Number 5 is always do a volume mix first, before attempting to fix anything. You will see that if you do this right, assuming what you did in recording, editing, arrangement, etc. was tight, that some real basic attention to volume automation on each track does the job of 100 EQs and 1,000 compressors. Then, when you start passing signal through your aux tracks, reverb, delay, compression, etc., you have the signal pure from the source, and your gauges won't fluctuate as unpredictably.
Number 6.
This might as well be the golden rule. If it sounds good, then it probably is.
As legendary engineer Bob Power always says, trust your ears. I can't tell you how many tracks I have ruined and had to go back or just lost interest in the mix because I had a great song
And I just couldn't stop trying to make it sound a little bit better.
until I lost objectivity and couldn't even hear the song or remember why I was so excited about it in the first place.
Number 7. Set timers and take breaks. If you're not in the zone, you're not in the zone.
The goal is to get little power-ups, like in a video game. These quick, easy wins lead to a flow state where you are on fire.
So if you're not on fire, especially if you're getting frustrated, take a break and avoid distractions that pull you all the way away, i.e. out of production. Number 8.
I cannot stress enough. You need to make 1,000 shitty beats, but finish them. A shitty beat to you is another person's platinum hit. Ask the real hit makers. Timbaland always says the songs that go big were never the beats that you were feeling the most.
The song an artist is remembered for is rarely their best song.
I don't know, reply in comments. Was Let's Dance or Space Oddity David Bowie's greatest song? Was Walk This Way Run DMC's best song?
Was Purple Rain Prince's greatest song?
Not to me.
Number 9.
Come original.
It's way more rewarding if you come original. Think of it this way. All the rules of each genre had to come from somewhere. I'm a hip-hop head, so for me, one of the most crucial places it came from was the New York area. DJs with roots from the West Indies. Before them, there was nothing exactly like hip-hop.
Grandmaster Flash invented an element of the genre. I don't know. To me, that's way more legit in terms of being remembered over being the next DJ Khaled.
But that's just me. Reply on comments if you feel differently.
Also, if you bite and use SPLICE and rely on it too heavily, then you don't really get to feel like, I produced that. When you're really just another sucker trying to be a super producer on a dime budget with generic beats that sound like everybody else out there.
Number 10.
If you really love it, let it go.
Imagine you rescued a baby squirrel. You bought or crafted a tiny baby bottle and nursed this squirrel to the point where it was no longer blind and quadriplegic. So it becomes this whole emotional experience at this point.
And if you consider keeping the squirrel for a pet, it will be for your benefit, not necessarily the squirrel's.
If you attempt to keep the wild animal as a pet, it will injure you by accident every time it runs around on your body, leaving tiny marks and wounds all over your body and home. That's why if you really love the baby squirrel, you've got to learn to let go.
Conclusion.
Now, the first bit about the baby squirrel is like when you first find or create a new sound preset or effect chain. It's just so damn cute. As you nurse it with the note repeater, an arpeggiator, slapping a sidechain compressor on it, you want this feeling to last forever. So it does. In fact, you never allow your beats to grow up and move out of the house, so the tension and destruction of your house begins. You see, what you may not realize is that, similar to wild animals, as well as our human children, music does not actually belong to you. This also means the ideas and technical tools that you utilize. If you spend too much time chasing perfection, you will never find it. What you want to do is let each musical moment or idea flow through you as effortlessly as possible.
Remaining in the moment, which never stops changing.
Stop intervening, and it will take you to some amazing places.
And through regular practice, you will not only learn, but ingrain how to get back to them.
Final shot.
Make sure to have fun and practice every day. A little bit every single day is far superior to a massive session once or twice a month. Even if it's just for 30 minutes before bed when you can't sleep.
If you write a paragraph every day, in a year you will have a book.
And that's how you want to approach music production, songwriting, and composition. Once again, this has been an artist called tRaNgE, master of the mystic fArtz, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Don't forget to like and subscribe.